news conference.
To go, thank you. Can I start by advising people that today, as I speak, an extensive search and rescue mission is continuing to occur at Christmas Island. We're searching along the shoreline and we have rescue divers in the water. The HMAS Peary and the customs vessel Triton are engaged, including in areas where ocean currents may have taken survivors or victims. 3 aircraft, including 2 P-3 Orions, are involved in the search. The operation will continue until nightfall, and an assessment will be made then about whether or not it continues tomorrow. I do want to be clear, though, that given the passage of time, I believe we do need to face the grim reality that it is becoming increasingly unlikely, an increasingly remote possibility that survivors will be found at this stage. The numbers of survivors hasn't changed since yesterday, and as people were advised yesterday, it remains at 42. I can confirm that there are 3 Indonesian crew members amongst the survivors, and they are being interviewed by the Australian Federal Police. I can confirm that a further 2 victims were found amongst the wreckage of the boat by rescue divers, and that does bring the number of victims to 30. Now, I know Australians are united in their sadness and their shock at these events, and that people's thoughts are on the loss of life, on the family members who are grieving, on the circumstances of the injured, and I believe people's thoughts are also with those on Christmas Island who tried to help, who are now dealing with such difficult memories of this incident. And I believe people's thoughts are also with our rescue personnel, our Navy and Customs and Border Protection personnel who have been involved in the search and rescue efforts in this tragic incident. I think Australians are thinking of this today, and certainly their good wishes and thoughts are with the grieving, with the injured, with the people of Christmas Island and with our search and rescue personnel. It remains unclear exactly how many people were on the vessel, and we may never know that number with precision. 3 survivors have been airlifted from Christmas Island to Perth overnight. I advised yesterday that there had been some movement of other survivors, so that now brings to 5 the total number who have been airlifted to Perth for assistance. Now, 4 of those individuals require the specialist assistance that can be made available to them in Perth through the healthcare system, and 1 is the husband of an injured woman who has also gone, obviously, to be with his wife in these circumstances. Other injured survivors are being treated at Christmas Island. Obviously, the survivors of this incident are traumatised and they're receiving all the care and support we can provide. An imam met with survivors yesterday and arrangements are being made to hold a memorial service that is likely to be on the 19th or 20th of December, a memorial service or services, and they will be for the purpose of recognising the loss of life and allowing people to grieve. Obviously, we are very mindful as well of the needs of the people of Christmas Island at this difficult time. Counselling services have been offered to Christmas Island residents who participated in the rescue or witnessed the incident. A shop front has been established on Christmas Island with professional counsellors to provide immediate assistance to community members who feel that they need that assistance. Now, I recognise that there is a great deal of interest in why this vessel was not detected and in how the rescue effort was undertaken. As I said yesterday, I want there to be a clear flow of information to the public as the facts of this matter become known. I did ask yesterday for the chronology events to be released so that Australians did have access to that information. And of course there are a number of inquiry and review mechanisms here, including the Western Australian Coronial Inquiry, the work of the Australian Federal Police, and a customs assessment which will be conducted quickly as to what has occurred here. I also yesterday spoke about the establishment of a bipartisan standing group of parliamentarians in order to receive continuing reports about what the facts of this matter are. Now, it's important that none of these proper processes be preempted, but because of speculation to the contrary, I do want to be clear that the people smuggling vessel was not sighted until it was sighted from Christmas Island itself by residents. It was not sighted before that time. If we look at Australia's search and rescue zone, it covers 10% of the area of the Earth. If we look at the amount of ocean that lies to our north, the area that we seek to keep under watch, the area in which we are most likely to see asylum seeker vessels, that area is more than 1.4 million square nautical miles. That's a very big area. To give people a context here, a Dash 8 aircraft in a 7-hour mission could fly over 50,000 square nautical miles. I think that helps people give a sense of how big an area we are talking about. Consequently, I think people would understand with such a big area that it is possible for a boat to get to Christmas Island and not be detected. As I indicated yesterday, the radar that is on vessels, that radar is affected by weather, and in these circumstances, extreme weather conditions where the Navy and Customs vessels were the other side of the island, the radar was not effective to detect the vessel before it was obviously at Christmas Island and was sighted by residents. Now, I also understand that there is a great deal of interest in the chronology and the rescue efforts here, and through the various processes that I've outlined, I'm sure that more information on all of this will come to hand over the days and weeks ahead. However, I do want to make the point that the rescuers worked in incredibly difficult conditions. I do not believe that any Australian should underestimate how difficult this task was or the determination with which the Navy and Customs personnel went about this difficult and dangerous task. I also want to recognise that there will be a great deal of public interest in the criminal investigation and the possibility of bringing to justice the people smugglers who organised this venture. Now, I do not want to say much about this investigation for all of the obvious reasons. What I can say is that I'm advised by relevant agencies that the investigation is progressing, that Australian authorities are working closely with the People Smuggling Task Force from the Indonesian National Police. This collaboration has been successful in the past with the arrest of 112 people smuggling organisers in recent years. I'm happy, having provided that additional information, to take questions.